Hey everybody, it's Valerie again with the US and Canada portion of Meant to Be Well. And I have an incredible guest with us today, Preston Weekes. He is the eighth guest here on our day one of the summit. And let me tell you a little bit about Preston. So, Preston is joining us from Scottsdale, Arizona. And Preston Weekes is a professional business builder and strategist. Preston began his entrepreneurial journey in the automotive industry. He started with a single car and expanded this into over $50 million per year automotive empire, owning or co owning 15 car dealerships. He was also the chief operating officer of Metamorphosis Energy, founder of Operations X, and the co-founder of Formula EQ Academy. Preston is also the co-author of How to Be Up in Down Times. Preston's overarching goal is to uplift humanity by helping individuals and businesses thrive. His diverse experiences and dedication to making a positive impact make him a significant figure in both the business and personal development spheres. Thank you so much for joining us today, Preston. It's an absolute pleasure.
Thank you, Valerie, so much for having me here. First of all, thank you for hosting this and putting this on with all the other amazing people that are out there putting this on, because this is no small feat. I know I've ran live events like this before, and to coordinate that many amount of people in a live situation on time, have work is pretty much chaos. It orchestrated.
Yes.
So, I salute you because you're standing for something, right? You're standing for people right now. And that's what this is standing for people and to make a difference. And so I want to really, talk about some things that have changed my life. I've had a bunch of amazing experiences in my life. I've had incredible opportunities, and there's been a few different factors and a few different pieces that I've gone through and I've learned, and I've developed these tools around those things to help support me to live the life I want to live. And so what I say is I build powerful people, right? So I love having personal power, right? Oh, I am Breen. I love her. She's so great. So good to see you. But I love personal power, right? And we have these situations in life that challenge us right now. And sometimes, well, we all go through it. We all go through it at different times. So that's really what I want to talk about and I want to share with people today. And so, so I have this cool like interactive kind of thing. So what is personal power? Personal power is those situations that you go through in life that actually change your emotional state. So there's all these different aspects that we actually interact with in life. So we have things, and the things that we have in our life can throw us off, right? And so that's why if you look at a lot of religions in the past and history, there's a common teaching that we shouldn't have too much of an attachment to the physical things in life, because the reason is sometimes when we lose them, it hurts, right? Or sometimes when we don't have those things, it can hurt. But also too, when we put too much importance on the things, right? The things that we have in our life, then we're actually giving away our control. We're giving away our control on some level to those things that are around us. And then we have other things where we have opinions, right? We have people's opinions. In the United States, this is a global conference, but in the United States right now, there is the elections, right? Everyone's got an opinion on an election. I'm not going to weigh in on any opinion. But what's happening is people's opinions are throwing ourselves off, right? Someone else's opinion around the world, or someone else that has lived a different life, is actually changing our state, right? So there's actually been studies that have been done where we have these fear responses and these different things, and people back in prehistoric days, you had a fear response. Like if you're getting attacked by a saber-toothed tiger, right? You're getting attacked by a saber-toothed tiger in the world. That's scary. That's a harmful situation. That's a threat. And you have adrenaline that's released in your body. You actually have a real response that happens inside your body. And your heart rate elevates, your blood pressure elevates, but it does that so that you can respond and react and you can protect yourself and not get eaten by a saber-toothed tiger, right? But now we don't have saber-toothed tigers, and we've developed these responses to life, like other people's opinions. And there was actually a poll done or a study done where now the response, the physical response that people go through when they hear someone of an opposing political opinion can actually be similar to being attacked by a saber-toothed tiger. It's actually similar. The heart rate elevates, adrenaline's released, the stress is released into the body, and it creates an experience, right? So we go through these things, and it's actually changing our state, right? So, but we need to protect ourselves, and we need to realize that we need to have a structure. And so when we can face these people that have these different opinions and these different perspectives, we can be okay. Because I've learned everyone has a unique perspective, and our perspective is as unique as our thumbprint. And depending on where you live in the world, wherever you were born, you were taught certain things. You were taught a language, right? Just your language. There's so many different languages in the world. And that language actually has a perspective that you build it embodied with the things that you learn. And that ends up shaping who you are among all the other things that you go through in your culture and your life and your family and your experiences, your losses, your wins, and the different challenges that we go through as humans, right, in the world. And so someone could have a perspective that's completely different, and they actually might see the world differently. Like their view, like right here in my video, like it's red, right? And their perspective, they see everything red, they believe everything's red, right? And then someone else might have this different perspective. But what I found, what's interesting too, is that we're often trying to look at the same things. We're often trying to look at the same things, and we're all trying to understand them, right? We're all trying to understand them from our perspective, right? That perspective that we're in, we're trying to understand it from that angle. And so to get engaged in these emotions that don't serve us, like anger or hate or fear or resentment, because we live in a world with people that have different perspectives, it's not serving ourselves. And we're losing our power, right? That's what I said, the personal power. So we got to take it back. We got to take that power back and never give it away. And never let these things change us, because all our perspectives are completely unique. But that's what's beautiful. That's what makes this world such an amazing place. And so I get into that for a long time, but I won't right now. And so, but we have an event, right? So we have these different things that we've gone through, but there's an event. So let's say someone comes at you with a different perspective, right? And they say, oh yeah, here's my perspective. It's confrontational, right? Well, we have an event that we go through, and we have those events. And through those events, we have the power to create our future, right? And that's where we have choice. My business partner, Eldon Hassa, we run an academy called Formula EQ. And we always say life is like the ABC. Between the BCDs of life. Between the B and the D is the C. The birth and the death is the choice, right? Between the birth and death is the choice, and we have the choice And we're so powerful with that choice that we have, because we can choose to engage or we can choose to not engage. And by choosing those things, that actually helps us to live the life that we want to live. And so we have these different elements that come into life, but there's one common thing with people. There's one common thing with humanity, and so many. The human experience is actually the same. The human experience is actually the exact same. That's why I love this as a global conference, because it doesn't matter where you live, doesn't matter your race, doesn't matter your religion, doesn't matter your gender, doesn't matter your economic income, doesn't matter your geographic location, doesn't matter your political party or any other thing that we can come up with to divide opinions in humanity. But the human experience is the exact same. And I'm going to tell you why. Because we go through things that we experience, we go through life, we go through situations, and then we have an experience, and we have joy, or we have sadness, or we have anger, or we have happiness, frustration. We have these different things, and the situations change. The situations are all different for everyone. They're all different, but the human experience is the same. The human experience is the exact same. We're all going through the same things. We all have fears. We all have this stuff inside of us that keeps us sticking or sets us back and stops us in our place. And so what can we do? Well, we have to start looking at tools. So I teach, these tools, and I'm going to get into them, and I'm going to give you some tools. But the first part is a tool I'm going to give you right now. And this is a tool of reflection. And so the things that we teach in the Formula EQ Academy are recognize, remove, and replace. And that's actually the formula to subconsciously reprogram your brain. Right? Your brain's like working and it's doing its thing and it's like operating from that perspective, right? We all have a perspective. It's actually a limited perspective because I once I move my hand like right here, I can't see it anymore. Like if it's like out here, like I can't see my hand. Now I can see it. Now I can't. So I have a limited perspective. But you can see my hand right now. Even though I can't see this hand, you can see it. And so that's where our perspectives come together are beautiful. But the tool is time, right? When you have an event, right? An event that you go through, then it's time. So let's say an event is you're on your way home from work and someone cuts you off, right? Then we have that choice, and we have that, and this is your tool to measure, to go, okay, did someone cut you off? Did you get really mad? Right? Because sometimes that can frustrate people, right? They get mad. And they go, how long did you get mad? Did it cut you off and then you just got over it and you let them keep driving? They cut you off and you didn't even take on their frustration. You go, oh, that person's probably having a bad day. I'll get out of their way. Or do they cut you off and you go, no one cuts me off. I'm going to cut them off. And you chase them down in the next light, you pull back in front of them. Or you turn into road rage and you get mad and you end up running the person off. Or you hold it inside. You hold it inside you, but you're mad. And then you go home and you're rude to your family and you're rude to your kids and you're rude to your wife or your significant other, the people around you that love and care for you. And this is the truth of humanity. This is how we live. So time is the tool to go, how long am I taking till I am not mad anymore? Do I continue to be mad? Am I mad all night? And then I'm mad at my coworkers the next day and I'm just an angry person now? Maybe the last 30 years, I went through a scenario of a bunch of different things that taught me to be angry. Right? So how long? What's the time? And we can use that as a measurement to correct our course. And then we have the work, right? So we need to recognize and remove and replace. Now, I was already talking about recognizing, but it's so critical because we need to recognize when we have these moments, these losses of power, and correct our course fast, because if we don't, it can literally mean life or death sometimes. Now, there was a story back in the day, I think, of a plane in Argentina that was leaving in the 70s. It was like 1979, and it was flying, and they don't have the instruments they do today. Now, I've been flying, and the technology is really great, and it's much safer now. But they set a flight plan before they leave, right? And someone adjusted that flight plan at night, and they didn't tell the pilots that they had adjusted it. And so the flight plan was, from 164.5 degrees to, it was adjusted to 167 degrees. So it's 2.5 degrees. So basically, 2-degree change in your plan. And so the pilots took off for the flight the next morning, and they started flying the course that was set. And they thought they were flying over the ocean, over a bay, and they were lowering to come in to land on what was supposed to be a nice, smooth approach. But that 2% over a 4-hour flight moved them 42 miles off course, and they smashed into the side of the mountain, and it killed 237 passengers and 20 crew, just because of a 2% change. So I want to ask you, what 2% changes do you have in your life? What tiny little things can you move the course? And do you have things in the past, right, that you haven't changed that you could change today? And then we need to remove the ideas. And removing is gaining back responsibility, right? We gain back the responsibility. Love you, brother Harold. Then good to see you. We gain back the responsibility in our life, and that's how we remove the challenges. And by doing that, so say, going back to that example, if you have someone who wronged you verbally, they said something threatening to you, you can look at that situation, and we have that choice to engage and to be mad and to prove ourselves right, or we can take that responsibility back and understand that that person had a limited perspective, understand that they're going through something different. They might be seeing red, right, in their life, and that you can see that for what it is and not engage with it, and to go, nope, that's their hurt, and I am actually not that. I see that as that, and I am not someone who does that. And taking back responsibility over the situation instead of being a victim and being attacked by someone, and then you react because you're attacked. See the difference? So you're not accepting responsibility if you're attacked, but if someone's coming to you and saying something, and you're observing them as a person in their perspective, you're not engaging in the attack. You're not being a part of the problem. And by that, you're removing it from your life. So we remove it. And then the most important thing too, well, they're all important, but is to replace it. We have to replace it with the future perfect ideal self. And that is where your ideal future comes into reality. So I am are the most powerful words that you can say in the world. And whatever you say after that is true. That creates your reality. So I am an amazing genius, and I love myself unconditionally. That's the way that we always, start out our messages in the Formula EQ Academy, because we can actually embody that, right? And we create it. And if you say, I am an amazing genius and I love myself unconditionally, how does that feel, right? How does that feel inside? But we take that scenario, so the person comes and they yell at you and they're mad, and they go, oh yeah, you recreated it, you recognize what happened, you remove it, now you replace it, and you saw that person as the person they are from their perspective, and you go, I am someone who can be around people who have a different perspective than me and not get upset. I am someone who can represent what I want to represent in the world and not be thrown off by others. I am someone who can show up as the person that I want to be and inspire other people to be that person. And I can see an angry person in their hurt and I can love them for who they are. That's replacing it. That's creating a new program in your mind. And when we create a new program in our mind and we go through these scenarios in life that are confrontational, that are challenges, we actually rewrite our future. We actually rewrite our truth and we create an infinite possibility of anything that we want to be, believe, or do in our world. And so I have in the bottom corner, I just want to give a gift to anyone out here. There's a QR code there. And if anyone scans that QR code on the screen, you get a free invitation to come join us at the Formula EQ Academy, where me and my amazing partner, Eldon Hassa, are teaching people how to actually live this and how to program their mind so that they don't need to have people around them, so they don't need to, have it be thrown off by the challenges of life, right? We all go through these things. And my goal for everyone today is to be powerful people, right? To be someone who can live in a world that has challenges, because the world has challenges, right? The world's not a perfect place. Eldon mentioned it in the comments, and he was mentioning something about my father, right? Yeah, my dad. I've gone through scenarios in my life where I've taken this process and I've proven it and it works. And I've had mental health challenges in my own family where my dad has had anger issues and he's held on to anger and hasn't been able to get past that. And I was actually giving a talk one day about love, and my dad met me in the parking lot and he was screaming in my face, threatening me and threatening my wife and all these different scenarios. And I stood there, like I told you today, face to face with him and just gave him love and didn't engage, in that situation. And, he screamed at me and spit in my face. I took my glasses off in case he was going to punch me, so I didn't have to buy new glasses. But I could stand in the face of challenge and be the person that I wanted to be, right? And I've proven this numerous times in my life. And I used to be a car dealer, and I've had a lot of crazy scenarios in the car business because you own a bunch of machines and they're all broken. I'm a used car dealer. Every one of them is broken. It's just a matter of what level it's broken, right? And everyone thinks that I'm out to get them. So you have some people that have some strong feelings sometimes around you. But when we can have the skills and the tools to actually take a real life situation and reset, but not let that situation control you, then you can do anything. You can actually do anything, in the world. And so yeah, Valerie, are you still around here? I don't know if she hopped off or I don't know where she went, but okay, there you are. Hey, yeah. I know.
Yeah,
Oh,
amazing,
yeah. Thank you. So yeah,
amazing.
anyone that wants to join us, I want to support the community. I want to support people out there. It this this process has changed my life. It has literally changed so many people's lives around me, and it's helped them to break through the things that have actually held them back all the way from childhood. And so, yeah, but thank you. It's been an honor to be here today and to share. And so I appreciate you. I appreciate everyone that's behind the scenes, running this event, because it's people sharing their stories, people sharing powerful stories that change the world, that make the world a better place. And it takes courageous people to go out here and do it. That's why I love Eldon, my brother, in the comment too, because he's one of those courageous warriors. And Todd, I saw Todd Stottlemyre in the comments too. You know, Todd is speaking later today, and I've been working with Todd on helping him to share his wisdom. The dude's just brilliant. I mean, not only is he freaking like 3-time World Series athlete pro, but he has it together, and he's got a gift that he's going to give out that'll change people's lives later today. So the people, if I could just say one thing, take action. Just do something right now, today, and do something that you're learning in this conference, at least one thing. But if you don't do that, then all of our efforts are pointless. You know. So thank you for having me, Valerie. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much, Preston. This is so, so powerful. Absolutely loved it. Thank you so much. And make sure you check out all the comments so you can access all Preston's information. And it's just been an honor.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.